Hi, this is Shanna, and in today's video, I go to the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston. The exhibit that I went to see was the Picasso-Klee-Matisse exhibit, and these are all from the collection of the German collector Heinz Berggruen. Heinz Berggruen was a German collector, and he had to leave his country because of the war, but returned. And upon his return, his collection was part of the reunification of Germany. Art is wonderful and beautiful like that because that's just one of the powerful ways that it can bring people together. Lately, I've really been thinking a lot about the relation of collectors and artists and how important that is. And that really showed in this exhibit, just the way it was curated, and you could see Berggruen's love for these artists and their art. By his collection, gave this beautiful gift to the world that is now traveling the world. I'm grateful to have access to be able to go to the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston and see these things. Seeing art in person is always such a wonderful experience, and seeing Cubism in person is a really fun experience. One of the things that really stood out to me was just the volume that's captured in the subjects as the artists break up the picture plane. Before even getting to the exhibit, it's fun just walking through the Museum of Fine Arts because you have to go through a series of tunnels. And so I like to park where I go through 3 of the tunnels in anticipation of the art that I'm about to see. Without further ado, let's go to the museum. My favorite part about today's outing was just being surrounded by all of this art in one space. Just all of the brilliance of Picasso, of Paul Klee, of Heinz Matisse, all in one space, and seeing how their ideas played off of each other. I lucked out. It was a rainy day and I thought that the museum might be crowded, but it was a slow day. I had the luxury of really having the space and the quiet of looking at these artworks in depth and getting up close and personal with them. There's something to be said for seeing the art in person. A lot of times you'll see these in books or on a screen and you think it's a certain size, maybe it's an 8x10, and you come to find out it's way larger or way smaller than imagined. And again, just the volume in the figures. So looking at these things on a screen versus looking at them in person, you really get the weight of the person in person. Not only the physical weight and their physical presence, but their emotional weight and their emotional presence. And Picasso's paper cardboard cutouts, and one of these things that he does is the use of cardboard. Just the tactility of it and the feeling of it is so gratifying. So to see these in person was also gratifying. Matisse is really fun because he does paper cutouts, and later in his life he had health issues, but that did not stop him from continuing his art and continuing to make these cutouts and make these iconic shapes that appear all throughout his works. There's a portrait that Picasso did of a woman, and it's all about her hair. It's just amazing. One of my favorite parts of the exhibit was all of the portraits. There are painted portraits and there are portraits that are drawn, and both are fabulous and fascinating. But the line drawings in particular are just brilliant. I know a lot of people sometimes see Picasso's or Matisse's and say, oh, well, I could do that. Well, can you take 2 lines and capture a likeness of somebody? Because that's what they're doing. And to go and see that on a big drawing, in a little drawing, in a big drawing, on a canvas is mind-blowing to me. And that's something that really influences me, and I strive to do that in my drawing, is to have this wonderful economy of line. And that's what they did for modern art. They economized the use of line, and they changed the way that we see things by creating and developing cubism. Looking at the line work, it's amazing how an artist can take a line and put so much information into that one line, those 2 lines, those 3 or 4 lines. And this could be in a small scale, this could be in a large scale. There was one large scale Matisse in particular that, you know, he used minimally line and just captured the emotion of this woman and her life in the lines. Another thing that I really appreciated about this exhibit is the inclusion of contemporaries, and especially women. Picasso did portraits of Dora Maar, and in this exhibit her work was also included. And so I found that representation of women to be very refreshing. I hope you enjoyed that museum excursion with me. I certainly did. All of the colors, the textures, the volume, the shapes, the movement, just the excitement of cubism. I just imagine myself being back that far in time without all of the technology and the AI and all of the things that we're bombarded with visually, and thinking how groundbreaking to see that when it first happened. Simply amazing. And of course, I had to go to the gift shop. I am a sucker for the gift shop, and I got these really cool Matisse earrings. So I'm so happy I can now wear one of my favorite artists' shapes in my jewelry while I'm doing my day-to-day. If you liked coming to the museum with me and want to see more content like this, hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and coming along with me to the museum today. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.